Man, we will literally mill them to 0 cards. The deck that is using graveyard for instants and discounts. So yeah, that's exactly. This was the card I needed. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today the archetype that we didn't see on this channel for I think like months by now. Banned control, and with added twist of milling our opponents with the new card Glacierwood Siege. This is a siege card, one of the cycles, so of course you can choose Timur or Zultai when you play it, and the Timur part mills your opponent by 4 cards every time you cast an instant or sorcery spell. And the Zultai is also pretty useful in this deck, we made sure of it. You can play lands from your graveyard, for example Fabled Passage, and even though we only have Fabled Passage, you can replay it every single turn and take all the basics from your deck, making the draws better and also making sure that you get basically 9 extra lands with a single Fabled Passage. So both of the modes are very useful, and we try to win with using the Timur one and just keeping to cast spells, defending ourselves, interrupting our opponent, drawing cards with Marang, or just getting back cards from the graveyard so we can cast an instant to get back an instant to cast an instant, and then you can mill your opponent like crazy. So that is the idea. We also have some cease and desist. You will see how incredibly useful they are in current standard. This is probably one of the most useful unpopular cards I've been playing. It always gets the value basically, and you will see it in today's games as well. And we should have a great matchup against an Omniscience combo, because not only we have counter spells, but we also can exile Omniscience from the graveyard. So basically we can take even the cease and desist again with the procession. So we basically have like 5 cease and desist and 5 counter spells. So the Omniscience combo should never resolve. If you see it a lot, this should do the trick, while also milling them like crazy by every play like this. So this should be fun. The games today will be pretty epic, so yeah, I hope you like them. Let's hit the mythic and see how it goes. This could be very sketchy, and man, I'm on the draw like every time. That's so rough. But we'll try to make it work. At least we'll get additional cards, so hopefully it will be a land. If you see, but is it? I'm not sure if the aggro version plays surveillance, but we are definitely close to, man, if we whiff on lands, this would be hilarious. And let's see what the matchup is. Corey. Well, I would love to be on the play and counter it, but unfortunately I'm on the draw, which means there's nothing you can do. At least we play lockdowns, but let's see if we are good enough at Magic to be able to draw a land. Yes, indeed we are. So with lockdown we can actually counter Corey pretty well. This is the first turn when they can double spell, and they will definitely try to do it. I'm looking down the board, but to be fair, this is such an awkward situation. I still need to lockdown, so I guess I'll take this damage, but now they will play another thing. Okay, this is actually the best one, because this gives... Okay, we will talk about it in a second, because that's a very interesting interaction. So I want to counter this, because this gives them gas for the next turns, while I lockdown answers everything that is already in the board. So this way they don't get the extra value. We still take 4 damage, and by the way, imagine not having lockdown in this situation. You are basically dead, bro. Like, whatever you do, you are dead. So we have to play lockdown, the only answer to this card in this kind of deck. Even Get Lost won't answer it, so we are kind of forced into lockdowns, and this is one of the reasons we play lockdowns in like every white deck. And now they probably have only 1 extra wave, and that should be it. Okay, that is a little bit more damage. I would prefer 1 drop, because then they get slower damage, and we can prevent it. Oh, this is a nice draw. They might have protection spells, so I'm not risking it. It's better to get rid of their stuff here. And if they go another creature with haste, we can always right send again. So as you can see, if you hit lockdown right, Corey does like nothing. This is fine. So basically, this is such a cool interaction. Look at this. They are investing a card into dealing 2 damage. Well, we are investing card into getting 2 life back and also drawing a card. That's why usually the life gain synergies are more like efficient. I will still get rid of the cards. And burn is usually like at disadvantage a little bit. I could wait 1 more turn to gain more life, but I don't think we need to. We'll play Fabled Passage, this way we can prevent drawing basics a little bit better. And basically we are in top deck war. Alright, our opponent is still good at magic and they drew another Cory, which will be another problem. I will go for planes here. This way we don't need to pain ourselves because we will definitely play those cards. Alright. They don't have too much time to double spell, but I'll be honest, we won't get better target than this, and we don't want to give them extra value. If that's an opt, they can basically like trigger, you know, the whole synergy with one card in a way. Alright, I guess that was Monster Straight, so they're trying to hit some new creatures. Talent, really insane card. I have to say, man, this is crazy. Like, this guy had one random card in the hand, and now we are back at 3 different cards, and like this can be double casted basically. This can give them infinite value in a way. Like, this is kinda crazy, man. And I probably have to kill Otter, so they're trading at advantage against the control deck by their aggro cards, which is wild, man. So we can get rid of the talent before they can level it up. I think we can just answer it later, right? Yeah, if they pay mana, then we react. And if they attack, we can always right send. So I think we will... Okay, this was the type of draw that we want. And I could just play Marang. Alright, let's actually see, exiling those instant and sorcerers actually made a difference. That we did with, you know, our cool live game cards. So that was a good call, so I'm pretty happy with this one. So how do we play around it? I can either try to draw more cards, or I can play the dragon and bounce everything and force them to basically like play from super behind. I have 2 removal spells, so I can... but then they will create more otters. This is a rough spot, to be honest. I think I will still play this. What do you do when you enter? So this will be a cheap card. But they don't have 2 mana. If they play this, they get the Otter. It's still a really annoying card because it can grow, so it can deal a lot of damage. And I still need to attack. But I will try it. This is not how I usually... Oh, we need to pain? Oh, that's not something I really like. You know what, alright. This pain is a little bit too much. I'm not going for it then. If they deal 1 damage, if we get card advantage, we can live gain even more, because we have more cease and desists. So I will go for it. If they level talent, that will be their whole turn, we get losted, we solve the problem. And 1 damage is something that is absolutely acceptable. Like, this is the same damage that we would get by casting the dragon. And if we cast this, we should start chaining a lot of value. So I'm pretty positive about this play. I probably should keep 1 of the Painlands, so that might be a bit of a mistake. See? We're getting stuff. So now we need to decide. We have Fabled Passage, so I can actually go for the land here. Then we can use Siege to basically get lands back. I kinda like it. And I think we'll right send this. This is the end step, right? We want to have a clear board, so it's easier to set up our stuff. As you can see, you need to make so much work to actually outvalue an aggro deck right now. This is crazy, man. And we need to take 1 pain, which is kinda okay. Let's go. Down to 6. We cannot cast this on this turn. Oh, we can, because we can cast the Fabled Passage and take the forest. I will actually go for the lands. With this, we should get a ton of extra value, and it will make our next plays a little bit easier. This will also make drawing Marang a little bit, you know, easier as well. So right now they don't have too many plays. Alright. Man, like every card they play is at least like 2 for 1. Like instantly. And it's also 1 mana play. Okay. I think this is the moment to go for cease and desist. That means we go for the green mana. We take our forest. And as you can see, now we always have a land. We also don't need to take any lands from the deck if we have a choice. I could also destroy our artifacts, but I don't think it matters. Let's go for 2 instant cards. This way, this will be full cost. This is what, 6 mana, so they won't be able to play it probably during this game, and they don't get this part of the value. Land from the top, definitely not what we wanted. Let's go down to 5. Man, what a battle. What a battle. And I think we keep Right's End on this. We want... Bro, like, we're overdoing clans, like, super much. I could Sunfall this. Then we might get them to 0 cards. That's not a bad deal, to be honest. You know what? I think this is okay. I need to make sure that the mana is right. I don't have blue spell, so I only need white mana, basically. We will take the... I think I still have the planes in the deck. Let's check. Because I'm not sure. Maybe we should be playing planes on this turn. I didn't think that I need so much white mana on this turn. Alright, we have the last one. That's super important. That's why we also play so many basics here. I think this is good enough. If they level the talent, we just kill it. If they try to play a huge creature or like Slickshot, we Right Send it. And we also get a small token. It's you know, nothing to write the songs about, but it still can trade against the Otter. Wow, they get another one? Come on! Oh, those Otters are so annoying every turn. But alright, we'll get something. Now we can turn the token into a creature that trades. If they don't have a... This seems to be an instant. Bro, can I please stop drawing clans every single turn? Like, this is kinda getting crazy. Alright. Well, obviously that was the worst draw we could get. And we have the forest. Let's go for... Well, we don't have blue cards. Let's go for the forest again, because we have some green cards. Honestly, this is getting a little bit rough, just because of how the draws are. Alright. Just to be clear, we are trying to outvalue an aggro deck that kills on like turn 3 or 4 if you don't make the counterplay. So you can see why those decks are all like the most popular decks of the format, because they do so much at once. We need to Right Send. And as you can see, this single token prevents the Otter from attacking, so that's a super huge deal. Alright, here's your Slickshot. And I will keep the Get Lost. Alright, this is good, this is good. With this we live get... Okay, see, we are getting stuff. We still have one island, so I want to play this. This makes our draws better. That's super important, because like getting rid of 6 cards that are super useless at this stage of the game from your library is actually a huge deal. How many he has? Only 1. We can try to answer this. Okay, I will try. We might draw something, but most of our cards are instants, so I think it should be fine. And next turn we can still play planes. So on lands we'll be super healthy. They might start attacking. In all honesty, they should bluff. I would have some troubles, you know, reacting to this basically. And let's get rid of the spell they really want to get into the hand. And also we can see those Cease and Desist got us to 7 life from 3, and we can keep drawing more lands thanks to this. Please! Alright, I guess I'll take it. But honestly, we definitely want like all of our value cards. Like, it would be really nice. We have 4 Marangs, 3 steps ahead, counter spells, and so much more. But let's go for this one. Well, to be honest, against their deck, it could be really scary. But I can always mill myself if I really want to. And we can then play lands from this. Man, this is really scary. We need some card advantage. Like, 1 3 steps ahead should win the game, honestly. And they don't want to level up because they actually can, like, they have nothing to take from the graveyard. So we are both trying to hit stuff, even after they're 2-for-1s all the time. So that's pretty decent for us. Alright, that's an answer. And so at this point we should be probably playing clans from our hand. We don't have basics anymore. So this is the best we can do. And we basically chill until... That's why I like 4 Marangs, because this is like the best draw right now. And we have 4 Marangs in those 29 remaining cards. Burst, lightning to the face. Alright, good for them. Now they will level up. So very rough. I hope that they will get some useless card, but they actually got a very good one here. And here they go. Well, this will be fun. Alright, what is the choice? Now they see both of the cards, so the decision is a little bit easier than with Opt, where you only see the top card and then you need to make a decision. Unfortunately, now they can attack us. And I will be forced to probably kill this. Huh. That's a rough one. I think I will just Storm Block here. This gives us a little bit of extra time. Just to point out, this is an aggro deck. Like full aggro deck. Alright, this is actually super fine. Because I didn't want to mill too many cards for our opponent, because then they get the discount here. Yeah, let's start milling them. They have still a lot of cards, so they will take something from the talent, but then we will get lost it. So now we wait. Alright, I mean, those draws are a little bit wonky, but I think we can work with them a little bit. Well, also, man, if I needed those lands, but if I had another siege on the mill, we could mill them really quickly. We'll probably have to kill this and then the talent when they level it up. So that's a little bit rough. What is the adventure part? Discard your hand, 2 mana. Alright. So we definitely want to get rid of this one. Man, what a fight! Let's keep milling them. We want to, you know, amp the pressure a little bit. Moment we hit 1 Marang, I think we'll win the game very quickly. But we need to get something that is, you know, a strong card here. I could theoretically take this damage, but I... Alright. This is definitely the breaking point. Let's get rid of this. Alright, let's keep milling them. There are 25 cards. What a game. Please just give me Marang from the top and we win in probably 1 turn. We have 4 Marangs here. Opt. Really good for them. I really hope that the last card will be a bit of a whiff. Bottom, so this is... Alright, see? This is finally something. So we could get a counter spell, but this is an instant, so we don't need to make a decision right now. I probably will go for Cease and Desist, to be absolutely honest, but maybe Counterspell will be in place as well. So let's play this round. Alright, I'm so happy we drew this. I would still prefer Marang, but this is kinda, you know, kinda okay. Really good draw for our opponent, but that's probably from the opt, right? I think we'll go with the thing. Because that draws us cards, and unfortunately we don't have anything else that draws cards, so we are kinda forced for this. Let's mill 4 cards, down to 19. And the game is so close. I'm doing this because I also have 3 steps ahead. Oh, like, I have so many good cards in the grave, in library, but we need to draw them. So definitely Burst Lightning, and another Burst Lightning. This is more mana, so you know what? We will go for Bolt Wave. It's a little bit easier to multicast. We mill more cards. Okay, see? We have cards that have value. Alright, we probably want to get this into this. We have a ton of Azorius mana, so we don't want to pain ourselves. See? This is how it was supposed to work when we don't whiff. See? Absolute perfection. And now we can go for this and this. I still want to draw some cards. I will take 1 pain. Okay, this is kinda important. Do we want to take pain? Swift Spear will deal damage, so I think it's kinda the same. And the tap I don't think is correct. If I have to, I will pay myself again. Alright, down to 7 cards. This is also a really bad matchup for us. Okay, see, those were all the cards we needed. Now we can do stuff. If we untap, we went on the next turn. We just need to survive this 1 turn. So this will be a true test. They can take 1 Bolt Wave, we'll get to 1 mana, and then we try to win. Can you imagine closer game than this? This is actually scary. We don't want to pain ourselves. Those 2 cards will be insanely important. They won't Burst Lightning into Bolt Wave. Those are the best hits. If they do anything that kills us on the next turn, it doesn't matter because we already won. That's super good. This does, like, basically doesn't do anything. Like, without haste, those cards do not matter. So I think we are close to milling this deck, which is probably like the worst deck to mill, to be absolutely honest. Like, mono red would be way better. And you know what? I could draw this card, and they might be waiting with a burn spell. Why would we ever risk if we already won the game? So what we have to do here is get into our opponent's upkeep. I mean, let's play the land, because why wouldn't we? Do we? Huh. You know what? Let's actually do it now. Because there is a chance they might have Burst Lightning. When they untap, they can cast for 5 mana and deal 4 damage. In which case means we already need a counter spell in our hand. Which means that I shouldn't cast this, play this, because I might draw a land and I could have more mana. So that wasn't perfect. And let's use all those pain lands, shall we? I think we are winning, but I want to make sure that we don't mess it up. Man, we will literally mill them to 0 cards. The deck that is using graveyard for instants and discounts. So yeah, that's exactly. This was the card I needed. So as you can see, moment you hit your stuff, it's super easy. We just basically whiffed for half a game to not hit those things. And now we can go for what? Procession? Nope. We want to get lost because we have more mana of this color. And we go for green. This way we kill this. There are 0 cards and we are ready with counter spells. And they have 0 cards! Just like this. Man, what a fight. And here's your turn, my friend. Link to death? I mean, kinda. Well, will they... I told you. I told you. I predicted this play. Man, if we didn't do what we did, we would actually lose this game anyway. So I'm super happy with our play. I think a deserved victory. Oh man, I'm so happy we won this. This could not be a closer game, honestly. And here we go. Alright, we're going first with triple Fabled Passage. Sure. The draws today are absolutely drunk, man. But I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's see what our opponent's deck is. I would guess... Okay, I actually thought it might not be an aggro deck, so that was on me. That was definitely a mistake. Let's go for Plains, because we know what is the only spell that will matter this game. Let's start with a lockdown. Alright, this is actually okay. Let's go for another Fabled Passage. We can lock down on the next turn already. And then we will probably proceed to Sunfall and maybe get some extra cards when we can. The mana will be very... tight, so we need to make correct decisions. I have double white here, so I can go for, I think for green or blue, right? So this is the best opening this deck has. Turn 1 hero into turn 2 mouse, 2 creatures extremely powerful, and also 4 damage with a 1-drop. So what can you do? What can you do? Just a good player, drawing all the pieces. So yeah. This opening gives them so much more power than they should have that it's crazy. But it's fine. Well, that's the reason this is the best deck of the format since half a year, right? With no changes with any of the new sets. So let's go for... I kinda want to go for blue. This way we can ensure some kind of card draw, and we mostly have white and blue cards. So this will definitely be our first lockdown of the game. Man, it's crazy how late turn 3 lockdown feels. Like, it feels that if I didn't play it on this turn, I would die on the next turn, basically. So now we will force a reset. Nemesis is definitely a very annoying card. Goes around our next lockdown, so I would love to have 3 steps ahead for this one. We can try to get some cards. We can live game. So we have our options open. If we want to go for Seas, we need green mana. If we want to go for the counter spell, we of course need the blue mana. So, you know, a rough spot. I would love to not see Nemesis and instead like 2 or 3 1-drops. Then we play lockdown and the game is ours. So that was kinda the idea. But our opponent kinda countered it blindly. So let's see the play. They definitely have some decisions here. It feels like they are considering burning Nemesis to get extra damage, which won't work if we have removal, so that's a bit of a gamble. So even though they are thinking a long time, yeah, see, they are actually doing it. So this is the moment to counterplay if we want to counterplay. I could counter it. I can also get the Cease and Desist, life gain in response, and get a new card. Or I can just go with Marang. But then this will never life gain anymore. So that's a rough choice for me as well. I could draw into removal. We have 8 of those, but I'm pretty sure I won't draw it anyway. If we just counter, what happens? They can only play 1 and 2 drops, which is okay, but they can also Monstrous Rage, which is not okay. So I think we have to go with this. It's not amazing, but we have a lot of things to solve. This emblem is never something you want to see. We do run a life gain in this deck for, you know, this kind of matchups, so it's still a little bit rough. Down to 8, and we know that it will end like this. Alright, let's see. This will be rough. And we also know that they have burn spells. They might be playing Frenzy. Alright, we will definitely crack it, and with this we need to make a decision. I think this will be a Sunfall turn, which means that we'll go for green mana here. This will be untapped. Now we play this. This should get us the last land, as you can see. Cease and Desist, in all honesty, is just a cycle card at this point, because of the emblem. So this will be a bit of a risky stuff, but we need to go with it. This should be blue mana. Like, the mana in this deck is really sketchy, like you need to make good decisions on this. And let's lock everything down. It will also give us a small creature, maybe will be helpful later. Our opponent still has 3 cards, which is the big problem. Alright, that was nice. Alright, now we are starting to recover. So this should be first time when we can start to stabilize. That means 3 cards are probably non-creatures, so this is the only chance of them having a creature. And this is insanely good creature. An instant 2-for-1, card advantage into 1-drop, my favorite. But we have the only response that goes around it. I think we're under so much pressure, we definitely don't need double siege. I could play 1. No, we draw a land. If I didn't draw a land, I would probably play this just for the extra mana. Yeah, I think we just go Marang right now. First we need to stabilize with some counter spells, and then we can start be aggressive, I think. I could also play the Regent. Non-land permanents. Like, this would help a lot, though. So this was the draw from the last turn. Alright, I will go like this. Because this was the last turn draw. Let's not bounce anything. That means they probably should whiff on the creature, and even if they won't, it's probably not a creature that can kill Marang. So man, we are under a lot of pressure. See, this was the next draw, so I think they're out of options, and now we can start to be aggressive. We need to close the game because of the emblem, we cannot fully recover. So right now we can start hitting the face, I think. We didn't hit a land, so this is a great turn for Siege. This way we basically ensure that we will develop for the rest of the game. And I will play lands because that's all we need. This also makes our draws better. So man, I really like this combination. Like, having guaranteed land drop for the rest of the game and making your draws better is just so good, man. But man, this draw was scary. If we didn't have a hard counter spell, that would be potentially game, honestly. Well, I guess we could lock down, but it was rough. It was rough. And they're out. They're out. Man, what a close game. Alright, our opponent is going first, which is never a good sign. We might hit planes with the passage. Let's see what the matchup is. Alright. We don't have blue mana. I could just go on this. I think we go like this because I don't want to have too many lands. As you can see, we can always draw them. And I need double white for any kind of sweeper like lockdown. And we also need 1 blue for negate, so we can, get rid of something annoying. Our opponent so far is starting strong on the play with turn 1 Hopeless Nightmare. But let's see what exactly is going on. Alright. I think we go for the white mana. We have blue from the coast on Pain. That should be good enough, and we might need double white. So I think this should be the best play. We might open negate. We definitely overdraw lands. Like, we literally didn't draw anything except lands this game so far. We'll go with negate. Yeah, this is kind of what is expected. Moment I didn't see mana tapped and hesitation, it was like either they whiffed really hard, which shouldn't happen, or this. I could counter it, but there's no point, right? Unless I want to prevent the further bounce. Huh, what is our strategy? I really want to drop the Siege. You know what? I will do it. I will do it, because it prevents all the bounce synergies for the future turns, and we might kinda be forced to slow the game a little bit. We also prevent 1 damage. So the talent is still annoying, but we'll have to play into it. More lands. I tell you, I literally don't draw anything but lands here. So that's not amazing. In all honesty, I will go for green mana, so we don't need to pain ourselves too much. And let's go with this one. I believe we have Fabled Passage. Do I want to mill them? I'm not sure if that's quick enough, to be honest. I will just go with Zultai for now, because that gives us more value, and this way we... Bro, I would really prefer to draw a non-land spell, that would really help. Like, we got 3 spells this whole game so far, so I really hope that our opponent will keep discarding stuff, because we actually don't care. Like, those are just free cards. So, we need to get into Sunfall, but as you can see, we're already pretty low. Oh boy, those draws are definitely not where we want them. So I will go with Fabled Passage here, because it improves our draws for the next turn. I could even drop the Siege again. I mean, I guess we will. We don't have other plays, so we kinda need to go a little bit all in here. Very rough game so far. Look at all of those cards, man. Each one of them would be insanely good. We probably go for this one. This way we can play this, not pain ourselves, and start milling them in the future. Alright, alright. This is a rough opening. If we can Sunfall, that will definitely start helping us. Here's your honk for the day. I really am scared of the pump, because they might get us to, like, you know, 4 or 2 life, something like this, and then it becomes really rough. We got rid of 1 Hopeless Nightmare, so that's a good one. Alright, 3 damage is not the worst. Max speed doesn't really matter, because it's only the breaker, right? Oh man, what an extreme start, and we'll keep using Fabled Passage to just keep basically drawing cards every turn and making our library a little bit better. That's one of the strategies this deck has, but of course we need to still draw lockdowns and stuff. Alright, this is interesting. Okay, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Oh, I thought they will bounce the other one. I don't mind this one. But what I really mind is us drawing only lands like the whole game. Like, like this should never happen. So we are in a bit of a pickle. Let's get this. I'm literally Fabling Passage, so I stop drawing lands over and over. So I think we have to go for the Sunfall. It gives us a little bit of time, but it's not good enough to win the game on its own. We need something more. But soon we will have no basics in the deck, so I hope we'll start throwing, you know, spells that matter. Probably like Lockdown would be really good. Alright, they should go for Talent. I actually do not care about Momentum Breaker one bit. This is a huge choice right now. I will keep playing Fabled. As you can see, this card got us so many cards that Hopeless Nightmare does nothing except damage right now. Let's get the remaining mana. We have 6 mana, so we could go Siege into Lockdown. We will lose the token. But this might prevent all the shenanigans from them, so I really think we should go for it. Yeah, I think this is a decent play. Man, what a hard game for all the wrong reasons. Like, if we had better cards here, that would be so easy to win. Alright, alright. So now we need to fix... I hope they will go for Momentum Breaker and hit our remaining cards. Hopeless Nightmare is strong, but not super devastating. And we have all of those cards thanks to Fabled Passage, because we never needed to play lands from our hand. Bro, like, how is it even... Bro... How is it even... I will count. How many non-land cards we drew this whole game? 1, 2, 3, 4. In 18 cards, 4 cards that weren't lands. Is that real? I actually think it is. And we don't forget, we keep using this, so every turn we have 1 basic less. I should not do it because now I have no priority. But it's fine. This is literally the last basic from the deck. Please, Shuffler, have mercy on me. Man, I'm a little bit lost for words because look at this. I have 7 cards, I have 7 lands, and all of those are the same thing. Like, it's only lands here. Alright. So this will be 2 extra damage and extra with Hopeless Nightmare. So we are in the danger zone, which I was talking before. That's why we countered Hopeless Nightmare, so they don't have this. But the truth is that if I keep drawing like this, there's like nothing I can do. I will always lose every game, because you need non-land cards during the game. So, yep, down to 1, and that's a... well... don't draw so many lands, guys. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed those games, and if you are wondering, we ran 25 lands, so actually not too many. I was super surprised to basically get flooded like crazy in like most of the games. Like, this is insane. One of the reasons could be that with Siege we can always get the lands, but man, we should actually draw less lands, because we not only have 25, but with Fabled Passage we take lands from the library, so we actually run less than probably like 24 in the end. Like, we are taking 9 lands from our library, so basically we are left with what, 16 in the whole deck, and yeah, we still get flooded. So that was a bit of a weird draw, and it happened more than once, so I'm a little bit baffled. I don't think it should be happening, but you know, those were the games I got, and I hope it was still fun to watch. So let's talk about the deck, because there are some new cards, especially this and this, because I think for Marang we can all agree that we all love this dragon. I know a lot of you guys love this card, and this is like your favorite. For me, I think it might be the favorite card of this new set. I really like the Exhale as well, but probably because I always play them together. So those are a given, right? But what about those cards? And we'll talk about them after thanking all the patrons that contributed to this video and let us experiment with all the cool decks. So there is something else that you see in your MTG life than Monored and Omniscience deck, because I think we've all seen enough of them. So really thank you guys, it is super appreciated. And back to the deck, the Procession was really nice. As you can see, it won us the game. So what is special about this card is that it lets you take any card from the graveyard. Usually every effect like this is limited to like permanent, and for a control deck it usually doesn't matter, right? But with this we can basically ensure that, for example, if you are playing a heavy control style against, you know, some kind of value deck, you will just take 2-3 steps ahead from your graveyard. That means you are playing effectively 4-3 steps ahead, and you can play this at the end step very cheaply. It's also an instant, which is a huge deal. So even though this card doesn't give you any kind of like tempo or anything, it's 2 mana that redraws a card basically from the graveyard. It is a super powerful card, and the versatility of this is super great. However, it has a little bit of anti-synergy with the Marang because it doesn't go into the graveyard, but the card is so good and the Omen mechanic is still so useful that I think we still prefer this. We could get different card, like maybe Farsight Ritual or something, but I think in the end it would be worse because you really bank on Procession doing the thing. If you don't draw Procession, it will just be worse card though. So I still like Marang, especially that you can use this to block and stuff like this. And the main question, of course, with Siege, obviously we play this instead of Jace. So which one will be better? And this is definitely more versatile because Jace will never draw you lands from the graveyard, and this opens a lot of new archetypes in different ways. I'm not super huge on recasting the lands, but for example, one idea is that there's this new dragon land that you can sacrifice. I don't go for it because Chorus mana is kinda devastating in this 3-color deck. It's already pretty rough on the mana side, especially with Fabled Passage. We need to play more basics than I normally would want to, but you can basically get this land and get Marang every turn by sacrificing it at the end step, then replaying it from the graveyard. I think that could be a cool idea. Maybe I should include one just for the testing. So this is a very versatile card that really gives you a lot. However, it cannot draw you cards as Jace, so you notice that when we top deck this, we just play it, and if we don't have the rest of the fuel, it's awkward. Jace could just, either disable one of the creatures or just start milling them, drawing cards. So I think it's a little bit better on the card draw, and there is a huge upside to Jace compared to this. non-counterspell decks cannot defend against Jace. Because it's a permanent that enters the battlefield and instantly sacrifices itself, and your opponent has never priority to actually kill it in between those things. Siege is an enchantment, so against decks that cannot deal with enchantments, it's probably even easier because you just drop it once, and your opponent will just get milled by the rest of the game. Every time you counterspell something, not only they lose their play, not only they didn't make progress into the board, but you mill them more and more. When you draw cards at the end step, you mill them more and more. So against decks that cannot deal with this, it's probably a little bit better because like enchantments is very specific. Planeswalkers is something that can be just attacked by a single, red creature. This, like, you either have the answer or you don't. So this can be a more versatile answer. However, it is way more vulnerable to any kind of control decks, even like the Beanstalk decks, which always play 4 ley lines. This will be hit by the ley line. And Jace won. So I think all in all, Jace is probably still more reliable. But this card is definitely more versatile, basically giving you 2 different game plans. So I think the best decks are the ones that will use this. You can also make this in a completely different way with like opts, slate of hands, and basically make an aggro mill deck that you play this and try to cast as many spells as possible. I think this also could be nice in this kind of decks if you just, 1 mana spell over and over, then milling is very quick. However, I didn't want to make this deck because then it's not a control anymore. Like, you don't control the board, you just try to hit Siege on turn 3 and hope that you will be fast enough milling your opponent without really having control over the game. And that's not the style I enjoy personally. So guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed trying to make the Siege work and mill our opponent like there's no tomorrow. I think the games were pretty exciting, so be sure to tell me in the comments if you enjoyed them. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you had great fun and see you guys tomorrow.